Yes, sir. We are back with another issue of Fast Break Bets presented by BettingPros. You know me, you know the voice, you know the guy. It's me, really real, a villain real, Terrell Furman Jr. here at your service.
How about if you sweep it out?
What's the point? I can't do anything right.
You'll do fine.
Hey pal, you just blowing from Stupid Town?
Oh, yes, I did. And I'm in a great mood for somebody that just blew in from Stupid Town because I'm feeling better about the season. I don't know what it is, and me just getting unlucky with some of the picks that I'm picking here. But, and I mean, humble plug to my other show. Shout out to NBA Gambling Podcast. Picks over there are pretty good. And nonetheless, I feel like I'm cheating. I feel like I'm cheating my audience because I love my fast break audience. Like, you guys ride for me. I'm telling you, the people that like me ride for me. Y'all are in the comments jumping on somebody's throat quick when they get at me. Like, I appreciate y'all. Shout out to the real ones. Shout out to y'all. But nonetheless, back on topic here, I feel like I'm cheating because I don't have the time. This is well, it's supposed to be a 15-minute podcast, but as you guys who have been rocking with me for so long, you know I can get a little long-winded and it might go over 15 minutes sometimes, but it might go under some other times, but it's supposed to be 15 minutes. Nonetheless, I can't break down every single game and tell you my thoughts and feelings on every single game, and hopefully that helps you out in your bets. But what I can do and what I am doing now is you can give me a follow over there on, guess what? The Betting Pros app. You can give me a follow. Just download the app in the App Store, Google Play Store, Android Store, wherever you get your app store. And one, you can sync your bets for free. You have all this other stuff, the prop bet cheat sheet, all of that. But nonetheless, if you don't want any of that, you can go to the app, search my name, Terrell, and give me a follow, and you'll have access. I will be sharing my picks if I add something later on the NBA Gambling Podcast. I'm going to track it on the Betting Pros app. If I'm not even on the NBA Gambling Podcast and I just find something, I'm like, man, that's just, it's just hitting me and I feel it. I want to add that play, and make sure you get to the Betting Pros app. That is the best place. You can give me a follow and you can have all of those plays, because nonetheless, despite me just somehow picking the over in the Bulls and the Wizards game, and that was trending over. And guys, if you were watching the game, that, I mean, in every quarter but the second and fourth quarter, the fourth quarter was kind of just dead in the water. Those teams were done. But oh man, I mean, the difference in the game, because it closed at, what was that, 235? Yes, it finished at 235. The Wizards had an 18-point second quarter, man. You can't do that when we have an over. And they were just missing bunnies, easy buckets. I really wanted to rip all the little hairs out of my head. All of these little hairs, I wanted to pull them all out watching the Wizards in that second quarter fumble away the over. And I knew the second quarter was going to be the reason why I didn't hit. So nonetheless, that doesn't hit. And then Tyus Jones gets hooked at 6 at the end of the game. But nonetheless, I look over at some of the plays that I ended up liking more at the end of the day. Suns hit, Spurs hit, Timberwolves didn't hit, Bucks hit, Bulls hit. So I'm going to just continue what I'm doing. We're going to slowly get wrap the bets up on the show and start getting more and more bets on the show. But I'm going to be tracking that stuff in the Betting Pros app so you can see what I like, and you can go out there and, hey, if you want to tail it, you want to fail it, or you want to do anything, or maybe I can be the flip of the coin and you're like, oh man, I'm in a toss up. I don't know what I want to do in this game. If I'm that for you, I'll have those picks up available in the Betting Pros app. Make sure you go over there, get that Betting Pros app, give me a follow. That's a great way to get those additional picks. I'm telling you, great way to go ahead and get those picks. All right. With that being said, let's go and talk about some of the plays that I like today. And I'm going to go to a spread, ATS play. The Portland Trailblazers are on the road going to play the Indiana Pacers. Portland is catching 10.5 on the road. 229.5 is the total. So I have an issue, and this is why this is at first a gut play. I have an issue laying a large amount of points with teams that do not play defense. I just can't fathom it. It's really hard for me because I can't trust you to get stops when the cover is on the line. And so if you look at the Indiana Pacers in the last 5 games, they're giving up 120.4 points per game. That is 27th in the NBA. 27th in the NBA. Or the other side of the ball, you have the Portland Trailblazers giving up 111 points per game in their last 5 games. That is 10th in the NBA. They defend the paint way better. And that's going to be the tipping point for the Pacers. And if the Pacers end up struggling in this game, I think it's going to come back down to how is the Portland Trailblazers defending the paint? And because they're defending right now, 5th in the NBA, 51% allowed in the paint. This is where the Pacers do their damage. So if you stop them inside of the paint, that then puts a lot of pressure on them to make outside shots, and that can be hit or miss sometimes with them. Nonetheless, I think I just want to trust a Trailblazers team that does struggle scoring. They are one of the worst offenses in the league in the last 5 games. But they just kind of ugly up a lot of these games. Like I'm going back and I'm looking at the road games here, and they go on the road against the Grizzlies last night and get destroyed, absolutely destroyed. They have to go on the second game of a back-to-back and travel over to Indiana. But I think that's just a little bit better because the last time they got destroyed by this Grizzlies team earlier in the season without Ja playing, they were able to come back and get an outright win against the Minnesota Timberwolves. Look at what they did on the road in the Rockets. The first game of a back-to-back series against them, they lost and absolutely got steamrolled in the first game against the Rockets. Then they bounced right back against the Rockets and won 104-98 as a 12-point dog. What happened in the road game before that Rockets game? They went and played the number 1 team in the West. 13-point dogs, played them tough, had a lead at multiple points in the game, had a lead, and then ultimately ended up losing by 10. The Thunder only scored 109 on that Trailblazers team, by the way. I think that the Thunder are a better team than the Pacers. I think the Trailblazers can ugly up this game enough and keep it close between the Pacers enough where they could even get an outright win. Now, not saying that's highly likely. I'm going to put a little sprinkle on it, but 10 points just seems like way too much. And the last thing that I'll say is this. There's a little bit of a trend for you. So, you have a team that has played 5 straight road games. On the 5th road game, when they are a road dog catching 10 or more since 2000 and what is this? Since 2021, they are 20-2 against the spread. 27. Oh, I'm sorry. No. I read that wrong. All right. I'm sorry. Here's the stat. Please ignore that. Here's the stat. 5 straight road games. The last game, they are a road dog catching 10 or more since 2018. Sorry, I had the wrong year. Since 2018, those teams are 27-20-2 against the spread. That is 57.4%. Now, 7-42 straight up. So, again, numbers not completely on the side for a straight up win. However, 27-20-2, 57.4%. I trust the trend. I think it's a good spot. It's also this Trailblazers team looking like, hey, we finally get to go home. We just got to play good this last game. We've had a pretty solid road trip right now. We've had a couple of duds, but we were able to bounce back. And so here's another chance for us to bounce back. Let's have a good game. I don't trust the Pacers defensively. I think the Trailblazers keep this close. Give me the Trailblazers plus 10.5 on the road against Indiana. Now, let's get to a player prop. Going to the prop bet cheat sheet. Appreciation to the prop bet cheat sheet for this one. We're in for a ride because I'm going to take Jaden Ivey under 21.5 points against the Memphis Grizzlies. This is a little bit of an inflated line. Jaden Ivey has normally had lines of 17.5 all season, 18.5. He had 120.5 last game, which he did go over against the Toronto Raptors. So very much kudos to that. But so he's actually hit his over in 11 of 18 games this season. But when you look at the line of 21.5, he has only been over in 6 of 18 games this season. That's 33%. So hasn't been good to the number. Now people are going to say, wait, hey, Terrell, Cade Cunningham was playing in a lot of those games. Yes, he was. In fact, he's actually 1-1 to this number, with the last game being to Toronto, to this number without Cade Cunningham this season. But let's go back and let's look at last season, because last season he played a lot of games without Cade Cunningham. In fact, like majority of the season, or if not, was it because Cade got hurt early in that season? So he played majority of the season without Cade Cunningham. He went under his points prop of 21.5 in 82% of those games. Now, new coaching staff, he's had a more of expanded role, but even with Cade Cunningham in the lineup this season, he has only been over 21.5 in 33% of the games. That's it. That's it. 33% of the games is the only time he's been over 21.5, even with Cade Cunningham in the lineup. He's had a lot of volume. When he's played bad teams, he's been able to get over. Bad defensive teams, let me say that. When he's played bad defensive teams, he's been able to get over. But a lot of these better defenses have made him struggle. I think Memphis is one of these better defenses that is going to make him struggle. And he's had his struggles against Memphis before, only cashing this prop in 2 of his last 3 against Memphis. I think that this is one. Memphis is a better defensive team. They're going to make this a little bit tougher of a game on him. They're going to force him into some bad shots. And, is there a possibility that we get some garbage time hero ball? Maybe. But I think that this is a really, really good look for somebody who now, buy low, sell high, has a prop that is way higher than what he normally is hitting at for this prop. He's normally really coming in at 19, at 20, 18. I mean, look at some of these totals in the past few games. 25 against the Raptors, against the Magic, 19. Hornets, 11. Bulls, 12. He had 28 against the Wizards. Played the Raptors, had 14. He had 19 against the Heat, 8 against the Rockets. So you see what I'm getting at. Even though he's been very good to his prop, he hasn't been good to the number 21.5. So I'm going to go ahead, buy low, sell high with Jaden Ivey here. And for this instance, it's going to be sell high. Give me Jaden Ivey under 21.5 points. Play number 2. There you go. Jaden Ivey under 21.5 points. And we are going to take Portland Trailblazers to cover 10.5 points against the Indiana Pacers. With that, I'm at really real __. Make sure you give us a follow at BettingPros on X and TikTok, at BettingPros NFL on Instagram, and you know what to do. YouTube.com, like, comment, subscribe for a chance to win that Muggsy Bogues autograph signed jersey. Make sure you do that in the comments of any Fast Break Bets video, and you will get an entry for that jersey. So, with that, that's it. I have nothing else to say, nothing else to do. No other way of ending the podcast. Just going to end it like this. Make sure you follow me on that Betting Pros app. I'm going to have some more plays that are dropping up there. You got to give me the follow, though. We are out of here.